In this quick Toontrack tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can get a nice compressed sound, subtle or maybe not so subtle, simply by throwing compression channel effects on your main output. We're using the Pearl Default Clean kit. Let's take a listen to the drums as they are. And there's a couple of compressors that work really well, even in their default state. The first one is this Classic Compressor. So even just by adding this to the drum bus, we're going to have some subtle compression happening, which you will see in the gain reduction. So that's really nice without any changes at all. Let's disable this one. I'm going to add another compressor here. And here, once again, we're going to keep it in its default state. This one will be a bit more aggressive. But note that I did not make any changes. Now if we turn them both on, so we have two compressors back to back, no changes, just the Classic Compressor and the Comp 76 in the default state on the main output. So if you want a bit more of aggressive sound, you can combine the two together. Now, of course, if it's too much, for example, we could dial back the mix knob on the Comp 76. So we're getting some of that dry signal in along with these combined compressors. Another great trick is to use these on an ambient channel. So my ambient ribbon channel is being bused to this ambient bus. So I'm going to move both of these compressors to that channel. And by doing so, we'll get more of an aggressive room sound, which will make this drum mix bigger or make the room sound bigger. So real quick, let's reset these back to the default state on both. And we'll listen to one at a time and then both, with just the ambience channel and then all together with the drums. With the full mix. So that's a great way to enhance your room sound or your ambience channels. Again, making no changes really at all to these compressors. One last variation of this would be to split the two, one compressor on the ambience channel, one on the output. I'm going to keep the more aggressive Comp 76 on the ambient channel and then move the Classic Compressor back over to the main output. And then at the end there, I just dialed back the mix knob, so we do have some very quick leverage to bring in some of that dry signal. So again, this is a very quick way to get a nice subtle or not so subtle compressed sound without even making any compression changes. You're just loading on the Classic Compressor or the Comp 76 or both. And one last trick, if we're talking about the main output, before we had the Comp 76 coming in after the Classic Compressor, but because that's a more aggressive compressor, we could reverse this order, do the Comp 76 first. May make a subtle difference, but if we're feeding a more compressed sound into that Classic compressor, it may behave differently. So a lot of variation here, a lot of very quick and easy ways to get some nice compressed sounds using just two of the many dynamics processors available within Superior Drummer 3.